always make sure you see what are the things you got penalized and then avoid such mistakes in future as well. Okay? Now, question 1. Okay? I would say that generally it was well done. Okay, as I was marking through the stack, not in any form of index order or anything. But towards the end, I do notice that some of you don't actually do very well for this question because you are unable to draw the correct tree diagram to help you understand how to calculate. Okay, so it says that the probability that Danish walks to school is 0.6. If he walks to school, then the probability he's late is 0.05. So how the tree diagram should look like is that we talk about, is he going to be walking or cycling first? Then we talk about his late coming or not late coming. Okay? So this will be how a tree diagram will look like. To find the probability that Danish is not late for school, okay, we will have to look at the case of not late, which is here. Let me try highlight. Okay, oops, cannot highlight. Okay. But it will be not late over here, hope you can see my cursor, and then the not late. So it's walk and not late, cycle and not late. So therefore it is 0.6 times 0.95 plus 0.4 times 0.98. Okay? So I want to remind that whenever we calculate, okay, the probability along the branch itself, we're always multiplying. Okay? If it's separate out, then we add. Okay, so if it's this way with this way, then we do this way first, multiply, then we add, okay, separately. So our answer should be 0.962. Some of you give me fraction, acceptable as well. Okay? Next question 2. Okay? I did get some very good answers. It shows that you really took in the feedback, okay, from your homework. Because this question itself is not unfamiliar, we have gone through in class before, okay? But what we were looking out for in this particular marking scheme is that we're looking for the calculation. You must show me the calculation. Without the calculation, it doesn't make sense that you tell me that the probability is less than 1 already, or not equals to 1. Okay, you need to provide the evidence. So calculation is a must, okay? Because some of you didn't provide this. Then we need to say that the events of Alex, Julie, and Desmond winning are mutually exclusive. Okay. Well, this point itself, if you did not mention, we did not actually penalize you. But really, we should develop the idea and realize that it is mutually exclusive because only one person can win the race. Okay. Say the probability of either of them winning is not equals to 1. Okay. Actually, the better version is to say not equals to 1. Okay, because if you say less than 1, then I don't know whether you actually meant that you're looking for something that's more than or equals to 1 or not. Okay, so actually I would say the ideal, right, is to say that the probability is not equals to 1, rather than to say that it is less than 1. Understand? Okay, so there are more, then we conclude, there are more than 3 competitors in the race. Okay, please have the conclusion. Some of you tell me the probability is not equals to 1, full stop. Okay, I need you to have the conclusion, just use the same phrasing from the question itself. Okay, otherwise your answer will not be complete. Alright, then what else did I want to say? Oh, okay, I do have a number of you, instead of the word probability, you say possibility. Okay, so do differentiate, although this time I didn't penalize, but do be aware that we're looking at probability, not possibility. Possibility is the possibility diagram that we have. Okay? Oops. Next part B. To find the probability that neither Alex nor Julie wins, okay, it is a situation when 1 minus probability of either Alex or Julie win. Okay, apparently part B was not that well done. A number of you did not get the marks over here. Okay, so because I think with the word neither and nor, okay, you cannot quite understand the question very well. Okay, so neither Alex nor Julie win doesn't really mean that it is just who's the other person, Desmond winning only. Okay, so it could be a case of we need to take 1 minus away 1 over 6 plus 1 quarter lah. Okay, because we know that there are other people as well. Okay, it's not just about Desmond, there are also other people in the race. Okay, that's why we need to take 1 minus the sum of it. And then we get 7 over 12. Okay? Okay, next. Question 3. I don't know why you all were so confused during the test, but nobody said a single thing for question 3. Okay. So I thought that maybe you all were fine. Okay, but I realized there were differences in the answer lah. Okay. I don't know whether you remember, we did a homework question or a class practice where we talked about car. Remember we went through this car question before? Our exercise, okay? So I mentioned that if it's just one word like that, it's supposed to be an element, by right lah, okay? Yeah, so this is an error on our part, okay, when it comes to setting, okay, cause a little bit of confusion, okay, whether you don't know whether these vowels means the word vowels only. In fact, only one person recognized it that way in our class. Okay, you think of vowels as an element, but majority of you think that it is the A-E-I-O-U lah, okay, which was the intention of the question, okay? But beyond, okay, the mistake that we had in terms of setting this question, okay, so the teachers will admit this mistake, okay, we accepted a variety of answers, okay. The biggest problem, okay, that many of you would have, okay, in terms of not getting the mark at all, is that you think that B is a subset or proper subset of A, okay. A and B, they are sets itself, okay. A is not supposed to be a universal set at all. Okay, if you start thinking that B is going to be a subset of A, then your answer will definitely be wrong because you will start drawing B inside A. Okay, so anything that is B inside A are clearly wrong. Okay, so acceptable answers for full marks will be either one of these. Okay, for the mistake that the teachers made in terms of setting this question. Okay. Right? Any questions? Okay. So the biggest problem was to recognize A as the universal set, which was not supposed to be interpreted that way at all. Okay. If it's a universal set, then you will definitely see the notation, okay, of the universal symbol. Right? Okay, but I don't want you to go into a panic mode, okay? What if this, what if that during exam? By right, okay, when it comes to an exam, okay, for national exam especially, okay, with rigorous vetting in place, such confusion shouldn't have arisen, okay? Then for part B, okay, answer is 0. Now, if your Venn diagram is wrong, down here surely no mark, okay, because it is dependent on your Venn diagram. Your Venn diagram must be right first, okay, for us to give you this mark. If there's no method mark, no answer mark, okay. So that's why many of you still didn't get this mark because your Venn diagram is not correct. Okay, you must get full 2 marks for part A, then I can give you this 0, 1 mark, okay. And by the way, also, right, just want to address, there are a number of you, okay, you don't understand this symbol itself, okay. This means to ask you to find the number of elements of, okay, of the set A intersect B, okay. There are some of you who give me A intersect B equals to A, another set. That doesn't make sense. We're looking for number of elements. So by right, it should be counting, it should be a number. Okay? So do be aware, familiar with your notations. Okay? Question 4, I think generally it was quite well done. Okay, many of you know, alright, how to go about considering the different cases. Okay? So you are able to get that the answer is going to be 8. Okay. So the question was asking for number of elements where A union B complement. So that means we're looking at A union B, but then the outside of it. Okay. So we're looking at this particular case because you want the largest possible value, right? And then we will get the conclusion of 8 being the answer. Okay. Alright, moving on. Part B. Okay. Part B, right, I do have some of us, okay, in the class, it's not just one person, who interpreted this question as a probability question. Okay. I want us to notice that this is actually a set question. Okay. The question says a group of 40 students were surveyed, 32 of them have mobile phone, 19 of them have a laptop. 3 of them have neither mobile phone nor laptop. So drawing an appropriate Venn diagram will help you to understand the question that the total is 40 students. 3 of them don't have mobile phone, don't have laptop, so therefore 3 of them falls outside the circles. Okay, we want to find the number of students in the group who have both a mobile phone and a laptop. Okay, presentation wise, generally, despite the loose presentation that you have in putting different numbers come together, okay, I gave the mark. But the thing is that if you do by trial and error and achieve the answer, okay, there must be some working shown that you are doing that. Okay, it cannot be a case like you just give me the answer only. Then how will I know? Okay, how do you go about getting the answer itself? Alright, so it should be 40 minus 3 equals to 37. To find out how many students are falling in this area here, having either mobile phone or laptop, then 32 plus 19, okay, gives us 51. Alright, 32 plus 19 refers to the 32 of them who have mobile phone, 19 of them who have laptop. Okay, and then we see that there's an excess because total only 40 students. So 51 minus away the supposed 37, we will find that the excess is actually 14. So there will be 14 of them in this overlap. Okay. Alternatively, you can do it in an algebraic manner. You let the overlap be x. Down here will be 32 minus x. Down here will be 19 minus x. In total, okay, it will be 40 minus 53. Right? And then we will get x equals to 14. Okay. Questions? Yeah. Question 5. Okay, this one I definitely got say before. Okay, your SLS, home-based learning, I gave you all this. Come back, I also say before. But I think more than half the class did not get this mark. I said about given that, what it means already. Okay. So in this question, if you want to draw the tree diagram, which is not in the marking scheme, we have 8 red balls, 10 green balls, and 2 white balls placed in the bag. Then you put back the ball. Then you take again. So there are 2 times of picking from that bag. Okay, so we know that there are actually a total of 20 balls in the bag. So 8 red, and then after that 10 green and 2 white. Since the ball is being replaced, there is no discount in the balls. So probability in fact remains the same. Okay, so every single set here is the same, it's repeated. Question 1 is the probability that the second ball is red given that the first ball is green. Okay, so we are looking at that probability itself lying over here. Okay, ignoring this part. So we want this probability. So you need to be paying careful attention to the phrasing over here. I only want this probability over here, which is 8 over 20. So the answer is 8 over 20, but you need to simplify it. Okay? It is a different phrasing. So what many of you did is to find out, okay, what many of you did is to find out the probability that the first ball is green and the second ball is red. In this phrasing itself, okay, then we take 10 over 20 times 8 over 20. Okay, then we will have 1 over 5 as the answer. Okay, so do take note of the phrasing itself. There are differences. Okay, moving on. Part B. How many more white balls must be added to the bag so that the probability of choosing a white ball becomes 1/4? You can do it by proportion. Okay, using your ideas of unit. Okay, otherwise you can do it algebraically. Okay, which some of you did, if you solve it by telling me that 2 plus 4 over 20 plus 4 is going to give me 1/4, therefore x is 4. Okay, this one I did give you 2 marks, alright, but this is a very poor presentation, okay, because you're just basically doing trial and error, okay, to tell me that the answer is going to be 4. Okay, out of so many equivalent fractions, how is it that you got this conclusion? Okay, we want a more rigorous process, okay, a sure proof way of answering. Okay, so therefore, if you present this way, we penalize under presentation. Alright, so I do want you to actually learn how to actually solve it by using our algebra especially. Okay? Right, because it may not always be the case whereby the number is so small that we know that it will be 4. Okay? Okay, 6 part A. The region A intersect B, okay, and then complement of it. A intersect B itself is the inside of B. Complement will be everything outside of B. So this will be the shading. Then for B part I, okay, correct notation will either be P intersect Q complement or P complement union Q complement. Okay. Then for part 2, any one of these answer will be okay. Right? Next, question 7. To list the elements, okay, you can just write it like that if you want to, okay, or else if you just really list for me 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12 without the brackets, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay, because the question only said listing, didn't say that it needs to be in set notation. Okay. And then for part 2, answer is 2 and 3. Some of you lose the marks because you get the wrong number of elements or wrong elements in the different sets here. For part B, answer is 17 not element of A as well as B intersect C equals to A and 4 and 12. Okay, if you actually circle more, if you circle one more that is wrong, okay, then you will be penalized by 1 mark. So that will actually be 1 mark only. If you circle everything, obviously you get no mark. Okay, because clearly you don't know, right? Okay, next. Question 8. I think the second last question. Part A, this will be how your possibility diagram looks like. For part B, answer is 1/3. Okay, some of you interpreted the question incorrectly. The player wins the game if the final score is at least 3. But then there is this part here that says how is it going to be counted. Okay, so it says that the final score is the smaller number of the two numbers. If it's a common number, okay, if both numbers are the same, then we take the common number itself. Okay, so this sentence was very critical in knowing how to find your probability. So we get 1/3, and then in part 2, okay, answer will be 8/9. Right? Okay, last one. We have 8/15 equals to 24/45. So you can leave your answer simplified like this, that's fine. As in, not simplified like that also can. Okay, or you can leave it as simplified 8/15, likewise for this. Okay? And then the rest also. Part B, answer should be 27/55. So like I mentioned, along the branch we multiply, different branches we add. Okay? Then part 2, it will just be 1 minus away the previous answer. Otherwise, you can consider by cases as well. Okay? Right? Any issues with the marks? Yes. Okay, if yes, more question. Anybody else? Okay, anything else about your marks? Right? If nothing else, I want you to bring this paper home, get your parents to sign. Don't tell me that sample no need parents sign. You're still legally under your parents' charge. Okay? Get your parents to sign. By Monday, I want to check. Okay? Monday, yes, today, Thursday, right? One Friday. I give you all have that lead time to go and think of how to tell your parents if you need to. Okay? By Monday, I want to check the signature of your strips. Now it's for them to sign. Okay? Address is now over you bring your A Math stuff. Okay, we're going to chapter 13. Alright? So see you tomorrow. Thank you everyone.